The game of football can be oftentimes described as being unfair, as this relates to teams that plays the best of the best game but end up on the losing side. This absolutely wrecks the minds, the heart, and the souls of not only the players who lost, but also those who are big fans with that huge expectation. The past is the past, and it is always said that we have to move on. But what remains is the memory of what had happened. And today, on the 23rd of March, Premier 7 will like to have a say on Jamaica FUMBLES against USA. What's next for the Reggae Boys? So guess what? Mexi Wagwan. The logo of Premier 7 is here, and it is my duty to continue the good works in presenting useful contents to you, the public. And today I have to be here yet again in speaking on the topic where it is concerned with the Reggae Boys. Below the screen, you can see Jamaica FUMBLES against USA. What's next for the Reggae Boys? What is next? Because we have lost that game against the United States, and I have to say that it really and truly affected my feelings. And watching that game, I wasn't able to be on air to speak thereafter because of the pure disappointments. But today on the channel, I would like to have a say, like a small discussion or a review or a small recap of the game that was being played against the United States, not for too long, and then I will speak directly as to what's next for the Reggae Boys. And of course, I am very much grateful for you, the fans, who continuously supports Premier 7, because it wasn't an easy and still not an easy journey. But I see the growth in the channel, and now I currently have 1,291 subscribers. So I implore you to continue to watch, like, comment, share the video, and to subscribe if you're new. And of course, if you are already a supporter, you know what to do. So I saw where a lot of players did well for the Jamaica men's national team, and just in the dying minute, we had a huge upset. So the first part of this segment is to speak a little on Jamaica FUMBLES against the USA. Is fumble the right word? Absolutely it is, because in the dying moments of the game, we blew it. Corey Burke, things happens, and not all persons will appreciate what happened on his end. He's not a defender, but in modern days, we have to accept that whenever you're playing and it reached a point for which you have to defend your team, then you have to do so. And it was pure misfortunes for him. Other persons will say something different, but he's unfortunate. His position was bad, of course, because when I look on the review or the highlights, it was a bad, bad defensive, what would I say now? Position by Mr. Burke. And that is what cost Jamaica the game to some extent. Look on the goal that Casey Palmer received. That should have been a goal, And it wasn't offside. It wasn't offside. That was a huge chance missed by Casey Palmer. And if we want to blame Corey Burke for the own goal, I mean, we have to blame Casey Palmer for missing that chance. But we're not here to blame or to cuss our players. We have to just accept the past and move on. But I don't like to just accept and move on, because too often Jamaica fails to impress and to hold out games. Where did we get it wrong, though? Is it a case of which we have to say, Coach Al Grimson, it is your fault? Or we have to say it is on the players? It is on the players. And let's have a look on the lineups for both teams, because we should remember that the game ended 3-1 in favor of the United States. I hope you're following right now. The game ended 3-1 in favor of the Americans. And the 2 goals that they scored came in extra time. Looking on Jamaica lineup, and let's focus only on Jamaica. I want to do that for most parts. The back line had Latibodir, Hector, and Bernard. Of course, only one goalkeeper, Blake. The midfield, Lee, Lowe, Palmer, Lembikisa. The front line, Sheffers, Reed, and Lowe. 3-4-3. That formation is quite, well, let's say it's okay. It is okay. And we had to use those players because they were the ones who were available for Jamaica. United States work with a 4-3-3 formation with Robinson, Richards, Robinson, Joseph. The back line, Turner and goal, of course. The midfield, McKennie, Musa, Tillman. That was being predicted, of course. And the front line, Pulisic, Way, and Balogun. All right, good formation for USA. Better names on paper. In terms of quality, we would say that USA would have the advantage. But for Jamaica, we missed our key players. We surely missed those key players. And missing those players is what I would say affect us. Somebody's asking if, do I watch cricket? Of course. I even play the game, but not as much as I used to in the past. And if you're speaking about the IPL, it is not the time for that. All right? So, the thing is, with the Jamaica team, our team looks good based on what was available. And we played the game very well. Hats off to the players for representing. Hats off to them. And I don't want to accept that all the times. I want to see we make a mistake, gain back our confidence, and win the game thereafter. So, Jamaica played not a deep line. The line wasn't deep, but we did a lot of defending because USA was pressing the life out of us. Not earlier on in the game or even after halftime, even though I would say they had more possession. But when it came down to the fact that United States scored, in that part to extra time, that was where United States became more dominant. And that is where the striker did what he had to do. Mr. Wright. He was on point. And Reina from the United States, he was the change of that game. Everyone was speaking about Pulisic, but Reina was amazing. He created the chances. And, Mr. Wright, he put the game to bed. But back to Jamaica. Hats off to the goal that was being scored by Lee. That was a good header, courtesy of a cross by Mr. Bobby Reed. And we had to applaud Damian Lowe for playing well in the midfield. Now we can say that we have a DM in Damian Lowe because he's so energetic. He ran the game, he never stopped, and he continued to lead as a leader of the team. Well, one of the leaders of the team, right? The backline isn't what we wanted because we had to do without Bell and Pinnock. The midfield, I always speak about a Lambert, and you can check my previous videos. You can check the video that says the lineup for Jamaica for which I selected was a 3-5-2. And I always speak about Lambert. Lambert would have been instrumental in that midfield beside a Damian Lowe because of what he possesses. If he was available, then he could even came on in the second half and add more defensive shape to the Jamaica midfield. But we all know that Mr. Al Grimson and his men would have a different selection to go with. And not much to say in terms of am I disappointed? I was more disappointed when I saw the loss because I was watching it on a stream on score 808, and when I scrolled on the screen, I saw 1-1. I said, Jesus Christ, Jamaica, look on that show the game, man. And there and then, I did not have any more belief to say that Jamaica would have won that game because the last minute of the game, or seconds, we lost the game right there. But hats off to the boys, of course. They have Panama to play in the third place playoff. And even Panama may be wondering, why is it that they're playing Jamaica right now? But I'm going to speak about that on the what's next portion of this video. There's nothing much to break down about the team because there's nothing really to speak about because the coach did a bad job. The players were the one to be blamed. But them run out of steam. And running out of steam, naturally, there's nothing that could have been done. And when you're out of steam, if you can grab some water, you just and come back. But we cannot speak on our past players or those who are unavailable because things happen and we have to just move on. But this should be better for Jamaica going forward. This should be better for Jamaica going forward. And what do you think about Jamaica going forward? It's time for us now to look on that segment of the video. I won't be long today because I want to watch Brazil versus England, the friendly. But not to say that this video will be aced. Alright, so let's look on the other segment of the video where it is concerned with what's next for the Reggae Boys. What's next is we have the Panamanians to play against, and we have the Copa America that is coming up in summer that we have to go there and play our best. We have to try our best because if we don't, we will be in deep waters. And as I've said in the past video that I did on Leon Bailey, I don't want for persons to say that, oh, Leon Bailey is the one that caused for Jamaica to be not getting that eligible chance of recruiting players because it is on those in charge. Once the structure is bad, then everything will crumble. So we want to see other players coming in, and if that happens, we can conclude to say no, that Jamaica have a better chance to go to the World Cup. But what I don't really like to see all times now is that I am seeing Jamaica being linked to. It's like every player that has Jamaican descent, Jamaica is linked to them, or they are really given the highlight. Give the players who are playing local football more highlight than them, man. I'm not trying to say anything but about those who are doing what they have to do, but I want to see more publication about the players who are representing locally and getting those players that opportunity to play for the local team once they are, what I'm going to say now, suitable to represent. Once they have the quality, the potential, and the ability to go further, give them a chance. But we need a better structure. And we cannot reverse to the back in the days type of crap. The game that we lost against USA should be the last crap that we encounter. What Masika say in his song? Reverse time. No, he's not with the reverse enough time thing. He count up the milli, move forward. So if you know the song, you can never listen. But I am speaking directly to the fact that we don't want to go back in time because it makes no sense. So what is next mainly is the third place and the Copa America that is coming up in June. That is coming up in June. And this is it. The focus will be on the Reggae Boys on my watch. Something is loading right here now. All right. So we will be in the group to play against some quality teams like Ecuador, Mexico, Venezuela. My God. My God. It is not the group of death, I would say, but it will be a difficult game. And our first game will be against Mexico, who will be playing the finals against the United States in the Concacaf Nations League. So Coach Al Grimson and his men, and JFF, of course, it is your time to do some better work in recruiting, putting together the players, assembling the players as well in a way that will bring across uniformity. So that when they step on that bigger stage of the Copa America, we will not falter. Will we have Leon Bailey? I doubt it. But we have Demarai Gray. We have Sheffers. That youngster is absolutely a ridiculous talent Jamaica has, and we cannot make for players like that to be mistreated. We do not want that to happen again to any players. And not only persons who understand football will say that Jamaica is playing bad, and some persons consider us as rocks. It is very bad in terms of our reputation. If persons who are not even football fans can see that we're rocks, then something is not satisfying to the public's eyes, and we have to improve. We have to put ourselves up more in the rankings and gain that trust. Or to say that even persons who don't watch football can say, boy, Jamaica playing some Mr. Wagwan. It takes a lot of work, and it will not happen overnight. But it has to happen. So Copa America is next, and we'll be playing Mexico on the 22nd of June in our first match. And the second match will be against one of two, Venezuela or Ecuador. We have to come out of that group, man. Even to win 2 games and lose 1 or draw 1, we have to go to the next level. And Coach Al Grims is like, oh, we're out of the Nations League. We want to finish 3rd, hopefully, but focus now on the chances of doing well in Copa America. So I only spoke on 2 points. Jamaica fumbles against the United States, and of course, what's next. I am disappointed, as I've said before, and I want more out of the national team. But some things I only can speak on, I'm not in control of. So it's now my time to go. And of course, continue to support the channel. I want to hear your point on the topic as well, or your say on the topic, because it is always my job and our job to see how well we can improve not only Jamaica football, but football on a whole. So take care and goodbye for now.